Well, hello there folks, Dominic here. We're just going to go through some variations on frog stretch. Have posted a video on that before, you might want to check that out. So frog stretch basically means getting the knees out wide and the feet as wide or not wider than the knees in question. The magic here is really in the movement and in the contractions. Don't start the frog stretch in a position you find really difficult to begin with. Kind of ease into it and work on these contractions. So just lift my legs up and down, forward and back. Now I'm working on contracting so you can see I'm squeezing the knees together. Do use a mat here, it's very hard on your knees otherwise. And now it's much easier to get into a wider position because I'm going to relieve a little bit of that kind of inhibition that those muscles can have if you just try and shoehorn yourself into any stretch. Now I'm going to turn my hip down. I'm pulling my pelvis under the whole time, so posteriorly tilting my pelvis. I'm still pushing that knee inwards and downwards the whole time, doing the exact same thing on the other side. Squeeze the knees together as I move that leg up and turn my hip down towards the ground. I'm pressing my knee inwards and trying to lift the leg up. You'll notice every time you then go back to the frog stretch, it gets a little bit easier to sit back into that each time. Just make sure that when you're in the frog stretch that you're sticking your butt out, you're not allowing the back to round. You can try that one once you kind of get into it a little bit deeper, where you're just holding that position and work on keeping the feet as wide, if not wider than the feet. So don't allow your back to get into a shitty position where your back rounds. It'll feel like, hey, I can get into frog stretch really deep. No, you can't. You got to get your butt back, keep a good tilt on the pelvis, and just make sure that you're really feeling the adductors or groin in that position. I would always follow frog stretch with some sort of hip flexor or quad stretch like this one. We could do couch stretch there as well. Again, in that position, just make sure that you anterior or posteriorly rotate the pelvis and then drive the hip, meaning to pull the pelvis backwards. Don't overarch that lower back when you do that. A few thoughts, guys.